Third round rules. This is the last round with all three the panelists and contestants. Let's look at our third round rules. Everything gets doubled from the second round. Great take gives you 800 points. A good take gives you 400. An okay take gives you 200. And a bad take, again, still 0. You come home empty-handed. Let's move to historic Lambeau Field, where the Kansas City Chiefs lost another game where their offense was pedestrian at best. The Kansas City Chiefs lost the Packers 27-19. Patrick Mahomes struggled, barely threw for over 200 yards, threw a brutal fourth quarter interception. Again, a lot of Kansas City fans were mad about the officiating. I think a lot of the Chiefs players handled it very well after the game, in the sense that, hey, if you got to rely on a call there at the end to help you win, you probably didn't play well enough to win in certain forms and aspects. But that was a really bad missed call on Valdez-Scantling.
Terrible.
Point is, I'll shift to Barry. Start with Barry here. Vegas has the Kansas City Chiefs as still the co-favorite to win the AFC along with Miami. Should they be?
No. You want more?
I do want more. Yes, if you want points, I'm going to have to give you more than that, buddy.
No, I'm just kidding. Listen, no, they shouldn't be. Because the thing is, has anybody seen Baltimore play? I mean, Baltimore has been one of the best teams in the AFC all season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the problem with Kansas City, listen, you're going to be able to, you're going to trust them in regards to their history, right? This is why they're getting the respect that they're getting. But let's be honest. The defense has played better than the offense all season. This is not what we know Kansas City to be, right? But this is a story about hubris. The Kansas City Chiefs have hubris. They believe that the Kansas City way is to be able to, we don't need to re-sign this guy. We can trade this guy. We can bring in some bum off the street from CVS that's holding the black Santa Claus. We can be able to have anybody play, and Patrick Mahomes is going to save us. Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to make a star. Newsflash, you need talent around talent to be good. They don't have any talent on the offensive side of football. Travis Kelce is starting to show his age. You can start to see it. Pacheco is good, but they need more. Those skill positions, those wide receivers are not good. And they need to start drafting well. People need to start looking at Kansas City's offensive drafting and starting to really question what's going on there. Are they looking at good talent? Because they're not panning out good players in regards to offense in the last few seasons. So for them to be still considered the favorite, no, they shouldn't be, because they're a good team, but I can't trust them in the playoffs, because you're going to need big playmakers in the playoffs. They don't have enough playmakers to make big plays in the playoffs. They don't.
Yeah, and I mentioned this on my show yesterday. I think you bring up a great point about the receivers aspect that the Chiefs may very well have made, and it looks like they probably did make the same mistake that a lot of defending champions do, where they automatically assume that, yes, you can still be good a year from now with virtually the same talent, but not factoring in the fact that other teams are going to be going after you and getting better themselves. It's the same mistake the 2020 Bucks made by bringing all their starters back. Didn't even make the NFC title game. Heck, my Warriors did it in 2022. So it's a mistake that a lot of defending champions tend to make, and the Kansas City Chiefs might have gotten a little bit complacent. And so I think you bring up some good points. So Barry Grant Jr., great take. I listen. I can't refute anything you just said there. So great take there for Barry. Now to Ryan Flowers. Should the Kansas City Chiefs still be, again, this is according to DraftKings, should they still be the favorites to win the AFC today?
Absolutely not. I think Patrick Mahomes, he's starting to slow down as well too. He doesn't have the talent, like Barry mentioned. Tyreek Hill is doing wonderful things down in Miami, and you can see how Tua has been playing since Tyreek has been there. Fun fact, I mean, the Dolphins are ranked second per PFF in offensive efficiency, about I think like 90% or something like that, where the Chiefs are about 76%. Even also, not to mention on the defensive side of things, although the Chiefs defense is younger, it's been better in years past. The Miami Dolphins defense is still ranked historically better than the Chiefs defense. And I believe they're coming in at like third or fourth per PFF. So then you got Kelce. He's busy, going to be the next song topic for Taylor Swift at some point. His head's not in the game. He's thinking about retirement. Once players start thinking about retirement, they're pretty much done. And I'm not saying that they're not a bad team, because you still got Patrick Mahomes, you still got Andy Reid. But at the end of the day, they don't have enough in the tank to win. And what they did last year, if you really think about it now, is pretty remarkable, winning that Super Bowl without a number one type of wide receiver. And they got it done in the trenches. And if you look at their stats now, they're running the ball a lot more than they ever have under the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid regime. So no, I think Miami should be with the Baltimore Ravens co-tied for the AFC.
Yeah, he makes some good points, and yeah, Pacheco has been more of a focal point of the offense. And listen, I think that kid Rashee Rice is going to be a nice player in this league. I really do. I think he's got the capabilities to do that. But right now, he's a number 2. He's not number 3. He's not a bum. He's his numbers are pretty solid this season. He had a 100-yard receiving game last week against Vegas. But if you're counting him to be your consistent number 1 guy, that could be a little bit of a problem. So some good points there by Ryan. Ryan Flowers, I'm going to give you 3 straight great takes. So that means you're automatically advancing to the final round. So congratulations, your first show. You are going to get there. So it's going to be decided here. So I'm looking at the point total. So Ryan, there you are at 1,400 points. Barry at 1,250. So not that far behind. So it really comes down to Mike Guido. So let's see what he's able to put together here. Mike, should the Kansas City Chiefs be co-favorites with Miami to win the AFC today?
No, I don't think they should. I agree with both of these guys. And listen, what you're seeing now, I think, with the Chiefs, and I think Ryan might agree with this as well, is that the Chiefs have kind of turned into more of a defensive football team this year rather than what we're used to seeing, where it's very Patrick Mahomes, speed over the top, possession, Travis Kelce, that kind of stuff. And now listen, Andy Reid is a brilliant play caller. Patrick Mahomes, we don't need to talk about how great he is. We obviously all know that. But here's the reality of the situation. I think Ryan brought this up and I think it's really valuable. You're seeing a lot more of Isaiah Pacheco in this offense now, but yet they're only middle of the pack running the football. They're about 16th in the league in rushing offense. So, but this is a team right now that ranks 4th in total defense. This is now a defensive football team. So, but Barry brought this up too. This is the first year in a while where we've seen the Chiefs just have guys, and I've said this before, they just have guys that cannot separate. These are guys that cannot create space for themselves in the open field. They're not very fast on the perimeter. This is kind of a slower football team. I mean, listen, I said it to you before too, Bryson, on previous shows. They really need Rashee Rice and Sky Moore to develop quickly, just because those are really the only guys that have any upside or ability to separate in that offense, any potential to do so. So I also agree with Barry. I'm giving a lot of credit here. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that, but I do think right now that Baltimore is the favorite. I really do. Listen, I think what Baltimore is doing as far as where Lamar Jackson is, as far as his efficiency numbers are concerned, he's still completing about 70% of his throws. This is a team that is very focused on controlling the clock and playing defense. They're the number 1 rushing offense in the league. So right now, I think it's Baltimore, and Kansas City has some issues that they really, really need to fix before the playoffs get underway.
And what's funny too is the fact that, and I when I went and looked at the odds, I was surprised. And this isn't a shot at Miami, but I was surprised that Baltimore wasn't tied with Kansas City if they were going to be tied with anybody. Especially when you consider now the AFC looks wide open for kind of those 3 teams, because now Trevor unfortunately went down last night. We'll see how long he misses. Burrow's gone. Aaron Rodgers got hurt in game 1, so there's been a lot of quarterback. Deshaun, well, of course, I don't know if the Deshaun one is as big as those, certainly, but he's a better option than Joe Flacco. I think we'd all agree with that. But yeah, listen, It looks to be much more wide open in the AFC than we initially thought, at least compressed between those 3 teams. Before I give the grand reveal and see who's advancing to the final round to play or to take on Ryan Flowers, we got some comments here by Tyler. Let's see. Tyler says, as a Kansas City fan, look at our defense and our offense needs to step up. He says, trade MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Yeah, he's that drop.
What, for a gym bag?
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to get for him. He's a product of Aaron Rodgers and a little bit of Patrick Mahomes. There's no offense to the guy, but yeah, he says Kansas City Chiefs have had a lot of major injuries. Cowboys Cam fan is in the comments. Right now, 4 of the 7 AFC playoff teams have backup quarterbacks. That's mind-boggling. I mean, Houston's not in right now. That's what's crazy. I mean, Indianapolis, you see what they're doing. So wide open AFC should be a crazy mad dash to the finish. So the 2 guys advance to the final round. Obviously, you see Ryan right there. Congratulations, Ryan. Mike Guido's heading to the final round. I'm sorry, Barry Grett Jr. Mike is advancing, but Barry comes up short here in the round here. But your reaction, Barry, coming in to pinch hit for us.
I don't have a reaction. I think that, these 2 guys brought the heat. However, the fact that Mike Guido panned to me for several points in this last take, I should have got at least an extra 300 points. I'm just saying. Yeah, because he's giving me credit. That's we pretty much shared a take. So we all should be going to the finals. But that's fine. shouts to BoJack Horseman. I hope he gets healthy with Jacksonville.
Man, stop.
He's looked very mid all season.
Hey, he's played well the last 3 games.
Yeah, whatever. You go ahead and have your finals. I'll enjoy playing in the background. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll see. Good job, Barry. Good performance by him. All right, final